Rob, Cheryl, when you need an ambulance, the last thought on your mind may be the cost. But now one mother is asking why an ambulance was used to transport her daughter between medical facilities. She's concerned over the initial $7,000 price tag.
And I just wanted to get her something to help with the pain.
Kathleen Dudzik brought her daughter to a satellite ER closer to her home in Homer Glen. But after her daughter was admitted for issues with a cyst, she was told she would have to be transported for further consult to Silver Cross's main hospital in New Lenox, about 11 miles away.
You know, my car's here, can I just drive her there? And they said, you will have to start at step 1 in the ER again. You know, do I go against them and it could be her appendix? I was going off their medical expertise. She was transported. Next day, she's released. This is not appendicitis. It's what we originally thought, the rupture of a cyst. She comes home.
Dudzik was relieved that her daughter was all right, but then she received this bill from a separate ambulance company, Superior Ambulance Service, for the transport from Homer Glen to New Lenox. It was for $7,260 for 11 miles.
Sticker shock was huge, because it was over $7,000.
Dudzik says she has excellent insurance under a union, so most of her bill was covered. She was left with a $1,300 balance.
I started making phone calls. I called the union who controls our insurance, and they're like, it is the wild, wild west out there.
Dudzik also called the I-Team, wondering what others could be faced with.
What if somebody doesn't have good insurance, and their insurance covered none of that? And then they're on the hook for over $7,000. That could bury somebody.
Superior Ambulance Service declined comment, but passed our inquiries on to the Illinois State Ambulance Association.
We don't necessarily chase people, right, all the way to the collection agency. We do our best to collect, but we also understand that some people can't pay.
Andrew Thornton represents the association and says the priority is patient safety.
But you can understand that initial sticker shock of that bill, more than $7,000.
I can. So what I can tell you is that broadly amongst our members do the same thing. You call, we transport. We oftentimes don't know what the patient's insurance is until days later from when our billing office follows up with the hospital.
Thornton says ambulances are like an emergency department on wheels, expensive to operate with rising costs.
That's the reality. And we live in a world, by the way, where the salaries for EMS clinicians are going up at 2-3 times the rate of inflation right now because we're in a massive shortage. So again, it comes down to if you want the service, it's costly.
As for Dudzik's concerns over the hospital recommending the ambulance transport, Silver Cross Hospital did not comment specifically on her case. However, overall had this to say about transports between facilities, saying if a patient requires a higher level of care at the hospital or a direct admission to the hospital, the medically safest way to transport a patient is by ambulance. This ensures the patient is observed by medically trained pre-hospital providers during transport.
Almost had a heart attack because I just thought for 11 miles, who can charge that?
There are some laws protecting consumers from excess billing, but they are limited. One says if you have an emergency condition, an out-of-network ambulance may only be able to bill you the in-network insurance cost. If you're fighting a big ambulance bill, experts say there are things you can do, Cheryl, Rob, negotiate with the ambulance company, ask for those payment options, and then go back to your insurance company to see if they will pay more. The key is you want to keep fighting. Don't pay that bill right away.
What a process.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
Very eye-opening and revealing.